Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Thank you as well for taking the time to view our presentation. We are Group 6 and we are excited to share our project on the reading conversation with you. Our group consists of three members. I'm Nabila Arika Haini, Nazwa Nur Azizah, and Tiffany Enes Aritonang. We hope it gives you a clear understanding of what we have learned and discovered throughout this project.
Okay, first, questions about the ideas of the passage. Usually, the first questions after a passage is an overview questions about the main idea, main topic, or main purpose of the passage. Main idea questions ask you to identify the most important thought in the passage. Answer choices for these questions are complete sentence. Sample questions is first, what is the main idea of the passage? 2. The primary idea of the passage is 3. Which of the following best summarizes the author's main idea? When a single readily identified main idea is not available in the passage, the questions may ask about main topic instead. This kind of questions ask you what the passage is generally about. Answer choices for this question are known phrases. Main purpose questions is another type of question usually asked right after passage. Main purpose questions ask why an author wrote a passage. The answer choices for this question usually begin with infinitives. Sample questions is the author purpose in writing is to what is the author's main purpose in the passage? The main point of this passage is to and then, why did the author write the passage? Way to identify the main idea in a paragraph. After reading a paragraph, ask what point is the author making in the passage? Ask the following questions is who does this passage discuss a person of or a group of people? And when does the information contain a reference to time? Where does the text name a place? Why? Do you find a reason or explanation for something that happened? How? Does this information indicate a method or a theory? The main idea questions are all essentially asking what primary point the author is trying to convey in the passage. The questions is phrased in various ways. You may be asked to identify the topic, subject, title, primary idea, or main idea. Finding the main idea or primary point is straightforward, as it can usually be identified by examining the topic sentence, which is typically found at the beginning of each paragraph. There is a questions about main idea of the passage questions. The first questions is the main idea of the passage is that, and two, the best title for the passage is. Okay, let's move to answer explanation. Questions number one is option A is incorrect because the text does not discuss the Earth in general but focus more specifically on Antarctica. Option C is incorrect because it contradicts the second sentence. Option D is incorrect because 2 miles refers to the tip of the snow, not its area. The correct answer is B, as clearly stated in the first sentence of the paragraph. Questions number two, option B and C are incorrect because they are too broad. The discussions focus specifically of Antarctica. Option A is incorrect because it contradicts the information in the text. The correct answer is D because the text explains the formation of the ice pack in Antarctica. Okay, move to organization of ideas in a passage. In the reading section of the TOEFL ATP test, you may encounter questions related to the organization of ideas in a passage. This type of questions ask you to determine how the idea of one paragraph relates to idea of another paragraph. Example, organization of ideas in a passage. This question is about how the information is organized in the passage. To answer this type of questions, what needs to be done is to identify the main idea of each paragraph above. Main idea of the first paragraph, main idea of the second paragraph, main idea of the third paragraph. Okay, and short explanation is number one, A. Two unusual characteristic of the Great Salt Lake are discussed. The first paragraph introduces two characteristics of the Great Salt Lake that will be discussed: its salt content and size. Number two, A. How the size of the lake affects weather conditions. The third paragraph discusses the size of the Great Salt Lake and how it changed due to long-term weather conditions. Next point is directly answered questions. Directly answered questions are questions whose answers can be found explicitly in the text. This means you don't need to think or analyze deeply. You just need to find the relevant information in the text. Here are the steps and tips. Okay, step and tips directly answer questions. You have to match the option with the text, tips to save times, and practice speed reading. Okay, example directly answer question is according to the passage, what happens during an ice age? The answer is C. Ice covers a large portion of the Earth's surface. For the first question, which asks what happens during an ice age, we start by looking for the current term ice age in the questions, as suggested by ETAs. The first sentence of the text directly states that an ice age is a period when ice covers a large portion of the Earth's surface, which is a clear clue. The passage covers how many different methods of recognizing past ice age is for the second questions, which is ask how many methods for recognizing past ice age are mentioned in the text. We look for the key terms is methods and recognizing past ice age. Number three, according to the passage, what in the rock strata is a clue to geologists of a past ice age. For the third questions, which ask about the clue in rock strata indicating a past ice age, we focus on the key terms rock strata and clue following ETI's strategy. The text clearly states that rock strata show evidence of foraging materials deposited by ice or melting glacier. Okay, the last is the passage indicate the gemstones. For answer is for the fourth questions which ask about gemstones, we look for the key term is gemstones. The text states that Williamsburg was settled in 1633, 26 years after the first permanent English colony in America was settled at Gemstones. This indicates that Gemstones was the first colony.
Next is indirectly answer question. Indirectly answer questions are indirect questions that are often used in formal situations and are more polite than direct questions. These indirect questions are used when you want to talk to someone you don't know. Indirect questions are used when asking someone you don't know, for example on the street, asking someone older when talking to a stranger and in a formal or official situation. Unstated detailed question. How to identify the question? Which of the following is not stated? Which of the following is not mentioned? Which of the following is not discussed? All of the following are true except where to find the answer. The answer to this question are found in order in the passage. How to answer the question? 1. Choose a keyword in the question. 2. Scan in the appropriate place in the passage for the keyword or related idea. 3. Read the sentence that contains the keyword or idea carefully. 4. Look for answers that are definitely true according to the passage. Eliminate two answers. 5. Choose the answer that is not true or not discussed in the passage. Characteristic of indirectly answered question. 1. Useful phrases for forming indirect question. Can you tell me? Could you tell me? Do you know? I was wondering. Do you have any idea? I like to know. Would it be possible? Is there any chance? Would you mind telling me? Would you mind if I ask? It is worth noting that the individual phrases about exhibit different layers of politeness. Certainly, phrases beginning with "would you mind" are more polite than "can you tell me" and "do you know." In fact, "would you mind" is phrases excessively polite in the vast majority of contexts. 2. How to identify the question. It is implied the passage that it can be inferred from the passage that it is most likely that what probably happened. 3. Where to find the answer. The answer to test questions are generally found in order in the passage. 4. How to answer the question. 1. Choose a keyword in the question. 2. Scan the passage for the keyword or a related idea. 3. Carefully read the sentence that contains the keyword. 4. Look for an answer that could be true according to that sentence. 5. How to answer indirectly answer question direct. 1. Focus on the question. Find the main point of the question after phrases like could you tell me, do you know, I was wondering, etc. 2. Answer clearly and completely. Adjust the tense to the time request. 3. As polite language, especially in a formal setting. 4. You may add opening phrases such as, "Sure, I can tell you that." "Yes, actually." "Well, he said that." "Of course, let me explain." Types of indirectly answered question. 1. Yes or no question in indirect form. To make an indirect yes or no question, we use if and the word order of a normal positive sentence. This is the same as for reported yes or no question. On the other hand, we don't usually need to backshift change the tense of the verb as we do with reported question. You can also use the present simple with verbs except be or the simple past with any verb except be. The way to do this is by using do or does or did. When we want to make an indirect yes or no question using that tense, it means we must use if and we no longer need to use do, does, or did. Next is yes or no question for tense with intervention. For tense, direct question and indirect question. Present simple with be. Is he Spanish? Can you tell me if he is Spanish? Present continuous. Is the restaurant closing now? Can you tell me if the restaurant is closing now? Past simple with be.
Was he late for the meeting? Can you tell me if he was late for the meeting? Past continuous. Were you watching TV at 3 p.m.? Can you tell me if you were watching TV at 3 p.m.? Future simple with will. Will she start her new job next week? Can you tell me if she will start her new job next week? Future simple with going to. Is is it going to rain later? Can you tell me if it is going to rain later? Future perfect. Will he have finished the report by tonight? Can you tell me if he will have finished the report by tonight? Model verbs. Shall we start now? Can you tell me if we should start now? Yes or no question with tense that use do or does or did. Verb tense, direct question, and indirect question. Present simple with any verb except be. Does David live in London? Can you tell me if David lives in London? Past simple with any verb except be. Did Amanda call John yesterday? Can you tell me if Amanda called John yesterday? Types of indirectly answered question. 2. WH question in indirect form. To change a direct question to an indirect question for tense that make question using inversion, you just add the WH word and change the word order back to a normal positive sentence. When we want to make indirect WH question using past tense, we don't need do or does or did. Instead, we use a question word and then normal positive sentence word order. WH question for tense with inversion, for tense, direct question and indirect question. Present simple with be. Why is he unhappy? Can you tell me why he is unhappy? Present continuous. When is the restaurant closing? Can you tell me when the restaurant is closing? Past simple with be. Why was he late for the meeting? Can you tell me why he was late for the meeting? Past continuous. What we're doing at 3 p.m. Can you tell me what you were doing at 3 p.m.? Future simple with will. When will she start her new job? Can you tell me when she will start her new job? Future simple with going to. When is it going to rain? Can you tell me when it is going to rain? Future perfect. When will he have finished the report? Can you tell me when he will have finished the report? Modal verbs. What should we know? Can you tell me what we should know? WH question for tense with do or does or did. Verb tense, direct question and indirect question. Present simple with any verb except be. Where does David live? Can you tell me where David lives? Past simple with any verb except be. Why did Amanda call John yesterday? Can you tell me why Amanda called John yesterday? Okay, next example directly answer question. Woman, are you going to the campus job fair? Man, I will, but I've already accepted a position at the bookstore. Question, what does the man imply? C, he already has a job. Answer C, by saying that he was already accept the job, he implies that there is no need to come to the job fair. Next, man, are you coming to the seminar this afternoon? Woman, I wish I could, but I have to meet with my advisor then. Question, what does the woman imply? C, she has another commitment. C, I wish I could indicates the desire to come but followed by the reason he can, meaning he has another appointment. Woman, did you finish the group project? Man, if pulling an all-nighter counts as finishing, then yes. One question, what does the man imply? B, he worked all night to finish it. Answer B, pulling an all-nighter means staying up late, so the implication is that he completed the text with great difficulty. Man, how did your presentation go? Woman, well, let's just say I'm glad it's over. 2. Question, what does the woman imply? C. It was not a pleasant experience. Answer C. The press I'm glad it's over implies that he did not enjoy the experience. The question, which of the following is probably not a Hawaiian word? C. McLeod. This question asks which word is probably not a Hawaiian word. To answer the question, you should refer to the part of the passage where it states that in the Hawaiian language, two consonants never appear together. From this, you can draw the conclusion that answer C. Maclea is probably not a Hawaiian word because the consonant ki and one appear together, so answer C is the best answer to this question.
The vocabulary question. In the TOEFL text, be prepared to be asked about the meaning of a word or expression in the next that you might have never encountered before. In such situation, the reading passage, especially the parts before and after the word of or expression in question, will provide you with clue to help you guess or determine the meaning, which could be a synonym, antonym, or a word relative to the correct answer option. Among the answer choice approved, this is good for how to identify the question vocabulary. 1. What is the meaning? The word is doesn't in meaning. 2. The word could best to replace the by. Where to find the answer? Information to help you understand the meaning of the Agno word can often be found in the context surrounding the Agno word. How to answer the question? 1. Find the word in the passage. 2. Read the sentence that contains the word carefully. 3. Look at the context clue help you understanding the meaning. 4. Choose the answer that the context indication. Strategy vocabulary question. 1. Understand through context. Identify words or phrases or expression. Answering in your own words. Understanding conversation question. Connect the word to the one you already know. Check if the word is an adjective, adverb, verb, or noun and elimination incorrect choices. Example vocabulary question in the text TOEFL. At the end of the Revolution War, America was no longer a colony. Instead, America was a new, young country that needed to set up its own government. Isn't interesting to note that it was many of the Revolution War veterans who were in favor of a strong central government. There were also financial reasons why veterans supported a strong national government. The answer is number 1. A colony in the line 1 is B. A type of government. 2. Look at the expression set up in the paragraph. This expression could best be replaced by which of the following? B. Organize. 3. The word federal in line 4 is closest meaning to E. Stage. For Line 6, veterans refers to the current members of the armed forces. 5. Look at the word financial in paragraph 3. This word in closet is meaning to monetary. 6. The word back in line can be replaced by which of the following? D. Already earned. Udah. Here are other example vocabulary question. 1. After practice, the girls softball team said we're famished. B. Hungry. Had answer. The correct answer is B. Famished means extremely hungry, so choice B best matching the girl feeling after practice rested. 2. When having a problem, it is it best to dissent the situation then act. D. Analysis. High answer. The correct answer is D. To dissect figuratively means to analyze place by piece, making D the right choice is about direction or reasoning. 3. The bouncer contains discorrect voice. C. Expression, height answer. The correct answer is C. Contains as a noun refers to a present facial expression. So C is correct. 4. The official exhibit a headless attitude when dealing with the dignitaries. E. Talkless. Height answer. The correct answer is E. Headless means carelessly of or talkless. So choice E is the precise synonym.
Next is overall review questions. Overall review questions are questions designed to evaluate overall understanding of a material, text, or learning experience. These questions do not focus on specific details, but rather on general understanding, impressions, or reflections on the overall content of the material. Next, questions about where in the passage, how to identify the questions, on paper test only, where in the passage, on computer test only, click on the sentence that indicates where to find the answer. On paper test only, the answer can be in any of the lines listed in the answer to the questions. On computer test only, the answer will be one of the sentence in the paragraph list and in the questions. How to answer the questions? 1. Choose a keyword or idea in the questions. 2. Skim the appropriate parts of the passage looking for the keyword or idea. 3. Choose the answer that contains the keyword or idea. Often in the reading comprehension section of the TOEFL test, the last question or two for a particular reading passage is an overall question, one that asks about the passage as a whole rather than one small detail. The overall review questions are generally not mind idea questions. Instead, they ask about some other aspect of the passage as a whole. The most common types of overall review questions are: A. Questions that ask where in the passage something is found. B. Questions about the tone of the passage. C. Questions about the author's purpose in writing the passage. D. Questions about which course the passage might be a part of. Other types of overall review questions occur occasionally in the reading comprehension section of the TOEFL test. Possible questions of this type are those that ask about 1. The tone of the passage, 2. The author's purpose in writing the passage, and 3. The course in which the passage might be used. A question about the tone is asking if the author is knowing any emotion in his or her writing. The majority of the passages on the TOEFL test are factual passages present without any emotion. The tone of this type of passage could be simply 1. Informational, 2. Explanatory, 3. Factual. Sometimes on the TOEFL test, however, the author shows some emotion and you must be able to recognize that emotion to answer a question about tone correctly. If the author is being funny, then the tone might be humorous. If the author is making fun of something, the tone might be sarcastic. If the author feels strongly that something is right or wrong, the tone might be impassionate. Questions about purpose is asking what the author is trying to do in the passage. We can draw conclusions about the author's purpose by referring to the main idea and the organization of details in the passage. We should draw conclusions about the course by referring to the topic of the passage and the organizations of details. Next is characteristic of oral review questions is comprehensive, does not discuss specific details, focus on the main idea or general message, explores personal understanding or opinions about the material, is relative, often asking for impressions or lessons, does not have one right answer because it depends on the reader understanding or perspective. Perspective. Types of over review questions. 1. Summative questions asking for conclusions from the entire contents of the text or material. Example, what is the main conclusion of this reading? 2. Reflective questions invites readers to reflect on experience or learning. Example, what did you learn from this reading experience? 3. Evaluative questions requesting an assessment of the content or effectiveness of the material. Example, how effectively does the author convey his message? For interpretive questions, asking about the deeper meaning of the entire text. Example, what is the implied meaning of this story? Example of rare review questions. One passage, the blue whale, the large animal known to have ever existed, can reach length of over 100 feet and weigh as much as 200 tons. Despite their enormous size, blue whales feed almost exclusively on tiny krill, which they filter through blind plates in their mouths. Questions. What is the main idea of the passage? C. Blue whales are enormous but feed on small organisms. Answer C, because the paragraph emphasizes the contrast between the large size of the blue whale and its very small foot or krill.
That brings us to the end of our presentation. Thank you very much for your attention and time. We hope our project on reading comprehension was informative and helpful. Once again, thank you. That's all from us.